Welcome back to another episode of Card Talk, a podcast where we spend just a little bit of time talking about cards from Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm your faithful owner, Dave Walsh.
Woof. I'm Ted Bannock, and I woof.
If you are not on YouTube watching this right now, you are missing out on the beauty of
this
of Google Meet right now.
Is for the YouTube watchers.
Right,
so if you're listening to the audio version, it's fine. It's going to be a really great episode. There's going to be a lot of tail chasing. There's going to be a lot of barking at cats. Perhaps
mailmen are going to be
a lot of those things are going to happen on the audio episode, but hey, come in otherwise if you're near your computer, or maybe hold off and come check out the video. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a great show.
It's gonna be a great show, he says. It's already great. I can barely keep my straight face here. Okay,
perfect.
Look at very distinguished you are there.
I'm regal.
Right. Who's a good boy? Okay. Anyways, before we get into today's card, let's talk about how you can stay connected in this pen of craziness that we have here. Micah, who is Micah, he does Second Breakfast, who's our video playthrough.
Second Kibble?
Yeah, Kibble.
Second Kibble.
He does that every other week or so, posts it on our YouTube channel, has deck building restrictions, plays different scenarios, tries to do some fun things with cards. Check that out. That's Second Breakfast, brought to you by Micah. And then we have Cat Attack 22, or Matt, our buddy. He keeps up over... he keeps up with us.
Cat Attack.
Cat Attack. Poor Cat Attack.
No. Don't like it.
You out there have to be watching this to understand to get the full effect of why I'm laughing. Anyways, Matt, I'll say Matt, as not to trigger my co-host here. He keeps up with all our stuff at the blog. He's reviewing the card pool one card at a time, and that's cool. We have a Patreon if you want to help support the blog or the pod or Second Breakfast or anything that we do here. Patreon.com/CardTalk2018. But, well, Ted, are you able to talk about the card today, or do you want me to introduce the card? I can't.
Absolutely.
Okay, who's a good boy? Okay, go ahead.
Hey, that's me. I'm a good boy.
You are a good
I'm
boy.
A good boy.
Go ahead.
We're talking about we're talking about a good boy. We're talking about the bestest card in the bestest game, which is Loyal Hound. It's a good boy. It's I can't quite. Boy, well, we'll get to that at work. Today's card is Loyal Hound, as you see in front of you. It's a 2-cost lore ally with 1 willpower, 2 attack, no defense, 2 hit points. Keywords: creature. Text cannot have attachments. Also, the following text response: discard Loyal Hound to cancel up to 2 damage just dealt to a hero you control, which any responsible card player would not trigger unless there's some kind of monster.
Oh, how could you do? And you actually, like, I know that we usually wait to talk about the art until the end, but I mean, for real, you kind of look like the dog that's in the art.
Yeah.
No blue collar, but
that Hound. Well, it's one of the woodmen. It's my cousin, and he doesn't take to collars. He's not such a good. He's more of a mean boy.
He's a mean boy.
But sometimes that's what you want when you're fighting orcs. So that's okay. Yeah.
I know. Look at
Yeah.
the orc in this
Bird.
picture. The orc is very scared in this picture. Is it an orc? Is that what it is?
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
What were you saying?
I was just saying, is in the picture, is it an orc? Is that what it is in the art?
I think so. It looks kind of like an orcish hand. It's got like long ass claws.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about the alt art cards that
yes,
Dan Pogue puts out. Dan Pogue, who is the owner and curator of the amazing Hall of Beorn. He is the Beorn himself, and every year at Con of the Rings, he provides us with another alt art of his own dogs of Loyal Hound. And everybody always looks forward to it, so that's good. But now card talk following. We have Loyal Ted.
Yeah, you're staring at the card talk alt art.
Yeah, you kind of look a little Scooby. Look at those whiskers that are on there. For anybody who's listening and has refused to go to the YouTube video, Ted has a filter over him he is a dog, and it's hysterical. It is hysterical.
Woof.
Woof. Right. But Senior Loyal Hound, tell us about the card.
As a card, it's great. It's got 2 hit points, so it's sturdy. It's got 2 attack, which is good for most 2-cost allies, and it's in lore, and that's kind of hard to come by when you're trying to build lore attack. Yeah, it does have 1 willpower if you're also like short. It's better than 0 if you really need to quest
better
hard.
Than 0. That's a dog's logic, right? So is that 7 willpower because it's a dog?
Yeah, it's really it's just the bestest card there is.
Woof. Yeah, I mean, I think that this card is good. I think that 2 attack and 1 willpower for 2 lore resources is good. Lore, from in my experience, isn't the attackiest of the spheres, so 2 attack in lore is good. And I think that the fact that it's not unique and you can bring this out, at the very least, you can. At the very least,
I'm nodding in agreement.
Yeah. Right. It's slaying me. And I just think that having that response is just a great, safety. You just have that out there just in case. And it cancels damage. It doesn't prevent damage. So that means that you can have damage dealt, and it could be fatal damage, but then you can cancel it, so then you come back, you'd be back alive, you don't have to worry about doing it before. I don't know, healing happens after everything has been resolved, and then you heal. This cancels kind of, so it helps to mitigate a nasty shadow effect, or an attack that was boosted or something, so that, I don't know.
Its response is really good. To just cancel 2 damage that could come from a shadow card or an extra attack. It's like, instead of defending with the Loyal Hound and chumping it, you can actually take the risk of an undefended attack, and then if the attack goes over damage because the shadow card, you can then choose to discard the Loyal Hound. So it kind of actually gives you a different play options just being in play. Not that you would ever want to discard the Loyal Hound or have it leave play in any circumstance.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm just looking up something really quick because I think there's something here that I'm.
Well, the other thing I'll mention, it's creature traded.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
You're stepping on my toes here.
Well, sorry. Yeah. Sometimes I don't look. I got 8 of them, 12 of them,
16, 20,
16 of them. something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say? Go ahead.
He's creature traded, which I was trying to think of the interactions. The number one interaction is Hero Radagast and his staff.
Right.
So it's a creature that's in sphere.
And that's what I was looking up is that, and I don't mean to interrupt this, like Radagast is lore, and the only creature in lore in sphere for Radagast is the Loyal Hound.
I think so.
No, that's why I looked it up. I just wanted to make sure. Like most of the creatures are eagles and, you know, in the tactic sphere neutral, you know, and but then there's like the wild stallion and there's a couple of other.
There's like 2 in spirit, and then there's like that raven in leadership, but there's not a ton. Most of them are eagles, so I don't think there's really anything else that creature interacts with besides really Radagast's ability and his staff that I can recall. I guess ally Radagast can heal this character,
right? Which is fine, right? Like
if you wanted to have it soak archery and then spend a full resource to heal that archery, you could do it. Right. It exists,
right? I mean, I think for 2 cost, you're getting a big bang for your buck, right? Like it's just like you're getting a lot of different things that are going on.
Yeah, and usually, like this goes in pretty much every Radagast deck I make,
right?
And then even outside of it, if my lore deck is focused on some type of attacking, I include it because you compare this to like a 2 cost ally like Veteran Axe Hand.
Mm-hmm.
It, you know, that costs 2 in tactics. It's got a worse stat line and no ability.
Right.
It's got 1 less willpower. You know, so if you're looking at it with no other synergies, it has that going. If you're just gonna get 2 attack, soak and archery.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, and it's good. Like I'm trying to think of like other places to use it, and I mean it would. In my mind, it would be good for like Sylvans when you have like a 1 hit point Sylvan and you may want to defend. You can, get rid of. You can use the loyal. I don't know, but the Loyal Hound. I guess you're just defending hero. So maybe hobbits because the hobbits have low. I'm trying to think like you have low hit points starting.
Heroes, low hit point heroes especially love this card.
So that's where hobbits come in.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, they have lower access. They're probably playing Pippin.
Right. And that's without playing Radagast and Radagast staff and stuff like that.
Right. So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right. Oof.
Oof. So here's my question that I never asked Matt over at the blog.
Okay.
His name is Cat Attack, but is that like is that trying to represent a cat that makes attacks, which is how I interpret it. But is he maybe an ally and also, attacks cat? Not physically, but maybe in the way that I attack cats, which is by barking at them. Woof.
Ready, Teddy, rough and ready here. Actually, and I know that you were, tongue-in-cheeking talking about it, but Matt has told me a little the story of where Cat Attack came from. I feel like it's a high school thing that just kind of came out, like a lot of gamer tags started, and
that's where they all start.
Yeah, not mine. I'm too old. They barely had high school back then. But it
wasn't even invented yet.
I know, right? Yeah, they didn't even have games. It was just rocks, holes in the ground. So I think it's like Cat Attack came from high school. But I don't know. Anyways, well, we talked about the art. We talked about how good this card is. Some interactions. It's just a good card. It's not unique, so you can bring out a whole bunch of these, which is nice. You can have your little Loyal Hound thing.
You can run 3, and I typically run 3 copies when I'm packing.
I wonder if this was meant to symbolize farmer maggots, like Grip Fang and Wolf.
Oh, I'd say that, yeah. It's
I don't know. Could, but maybe it's just one of those hey, we need a lore we need a lore creature to kind of round out our.
Yeah, and
Or-
it's part. They had some Woodman cards, right? Because like Halden came out, and that's part of like the
Right.
Woodman lore is that they had like hunting dogs.
Yeah.
So I think that's where this comes from too.
Probably. Then Alep came out with the actual Grip Fang and Wolf, so that's good. So, Anyways, should we ring this very short episode here?
Yeah.
So
It's well, I mean, it's I mean, Loyal Hound's a good boy, so it's a 1.
Okay, it's a 1. Well, let me give my spiel here before we ring it.
Look at this face.
I know, right?
No. I'm too excited.
Okay, well, for anybody who doesn't know or may have forgotten, we have a highly scientific yet arbitrary. Were you just sniffing your butt? You turned your head so far.
No.
Oh, okay. Highly scientific yet arbitrary system where we rank a card on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is the goodest boy in the good boy world, and the 10 is the baddest boy that gets shipped back to the fiery baddest land in the
10 is a cat.
It's
a fur ball.
Yeah. So, in a moment of honesty, Ted, how would you rate yourself?
Pretty good. I give it like a 3. It's actually really up there for lore. Like it's good. It's got a great stat line. It's costed fair. Like 3 would be too much, but 1 would be like crazy. It's got a really good ability, especially in its sphere. It's great. It's a really good card. I play it quite often.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This came out, I don't know, it came out in the Arid Mithrin cycle, and I love that cycle. It's got a lot of good cards in it. I don't know. For some reason, this card just never really hit me, but I'm playing solos. So, like, playing solo is a whole different beast. Excuse the pun. Because you need cards. Like, you're trying to do everything. And this card does do a couple of things, but I find that, you kind of have to throw, like, if you're going to put lore in a solo deck, you're going to use that for card draw and healing, and you're probably not building a mono lore solo deck. And if you are, it's not going to, and so it's like Loyal Hound is always on my periphery of deck building, but I feel like it never really makes it quite in there, like I'd always, I don't, and maybe that's just me building, like, I look at it and I'm like, this is a good card, like I do have a deck that has it in there, and I don't know, I just, like, I could see its benefit, but I don't know. I'm just going to have to go I'm going to have to go middle of the road because it just doesn't inspire me to build a deck. Like I'm just not.
I'm never sniffing your butt again.
Yeah, thank God. And you never did it to begin with. And so I think I'm gonna have to give it a 5, but and that's heavily weighted on knowing that it's a great card, but it just seems not to fit where I go with cards. If that makes sense.
I suppose.
Well, everybody, I'm glad that we had a minute to enjoy this episode with the loyalist, goodest boy, Ted Bannock. And you know what? Join us again next week as we talk about more cards in the game. Have a great day, everybody.
Do you love the content? Here's what you can do to stay connected. Become a patron. The money collected through Patreon goes into keeping the lights on here at the podcast. We love our patrons, and you can join at many different levels. Visit patreon.com/cardtalk2018. You can subscribe to us, whether you're watching our YouTube channel or you're listening to us in your favorite podcatcher. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications of all our new episodes. Didn't know we were an audio podcast? Find us by searching Card Talk to get access to our 120 plus regular episodes. Didn't know we were a video channel? Find us by searching Card Talk LOTR LCG on YouTube. And there you can find not only our regular episodes, but you can find our bonus playthroughs and other content related to the game. Want to get a hold of Ted, Grant, or myself? Feel free to email the podcast at cardtalk2018@gmail.com.